Hey everyone, welcome back! So, this is my most recent color I did. I'm calling it a dusty rose hair color, and I pretty much mixed it myself with Pravana Vivids. So, I'll write that down for you and let you know what my measurements were to get this color. I really am obsessed with it. She has probably the most beautiful hair in the world, so you can't really go wrong with this type of hair, but this is exactly the way I wanted it to turn out. So, keep watching to find out exactly what I did to get this look. So I'm mixing my trusty Redken Flash Lift, and as always I'm doing the face frame first. So I do weave sections and I tease each part of the weave before I apply the lightener. In her case, she wanted that rooted look, so I really teased a lot more than usual, but if you have a client who just kind of wants that soft highlighted look but still wants the highlights up there, just tease a little bit. So I'm doing the face frame right now, and that's where you can see I'm really teasing those lines so she has more of a rooted look. And I always feather the top of the root into her highlights because I don't want them to be starkly coming out of her scalp. So you really only have to use like the end of the lightener that you have on your brush for the top of that root area, and that's how you'll get those really soft, pretty lines. So now I'm going to start doing the partial highlight, but I'm just going to do a faux hawk section, so literally just from the front of her head to the back. That's the only part I'm going to highlight, and I'm going to make sure these highlights are super thin and everything is completely saturated because you don't want any type of spotting. So I'm taking those foils and then I'm rolling them up into themselves, and then I'm moving all the way from the front to the back of the head. And that's still using 30 volume with the pH Bomb Builder and Redken Flash Lift. So now I'm going to mix Redken Flash Lift with 40 volume and the pH Bomb Builder. Anytime you do balayage, it's really, if you want that level of lift, you should really use 40 volume. But I like to put something that's going to protect their hair because I am putting these in foils. If she was just in open air with cotton or saran wrap, it wouldn't be such a big deal, but since I am layering her hair in foils, I'm absolutely going to use something to protect her hair and her ends especially. So here I'm just painting really big V's, and I'm doing horizontal sections up the head, and I'm seriously saturating the ends. Like, that's what makes these look so incredible, is that you really get those ends bright and you leave all that depth in between. So don't take your balayage lightener too high, because then you'll lose all that beautiful dimension that you see in the beginning of the post where I showed you the after. So I'm taking my balayage board. I got this at Salon Centric. You can get it at Cosmoprof or anything like that, but it really does help to saturate the ends. So Guy Tang makes one that I really like. It has like a scoop filter thing where you can scoop the lightener out with your brush, and then it has a giant paddle area. So I would recommend getting that one. And these are also the frame rent brushes, or fram rent. I love them. If you guys need great brushes to do balayage, these are everything that everyone talks about. He sells them, Guy Tang, this is his brand, but I'm sure you could go on their website and they sell them too, but I highly recommend those for you guys, especially if you're just getting into balayage. These are really going to help you make those really fine lines. So now I'm just going to continue that same pattern on the other side, and make sure when you're doing the balayage that you take the lightener up to the root, but you feather it up into it. You really don't want super strong lines coming out from that root, unless the client specifically asked for that. But for her, she really wanted it to be soft and more of a rooted look. So that's why I'm only going just a teensy bit up towards the root, and if I do, it's really soft lines. And here you can see how I'm layering the foils. So pretty much I'm putting two, since her hair is this long, I'm putting two underneath and then two back on top, and I'm lightly pushing them just so that they're nice and secure and there's not a lot of air going through there. you really want to make sure they don't dry out, because as soon as lightener dries out, it stops working. So I would recommend when you put those down to make sure you just press on them a little bit, but try not to disturb the lightener or the pattern you just made, but do that, and that way you'll have nice moist lightener and it'll be processing for as long as you have them in there. So in some cases when you come to the back, you're going to have a much wider section, so don't be afraid to make 2 sections and do 2 separate V's in one section. I do one in the front because usually a lot of people have finer sections in the front, and I really only need 1 V in there, but as you can see in the back, I'm going to start doing 2 sections of V's, so don't worry about doing that, it's going to look great. So now I'm going to take my blow dryer. It's because I don't have a heater, but you can use a blow dryer. It's totally cool. I actually kind of like it because I can directly put the heat where I need it to go. I feel like sometimes dryers heat the foils too much, and the top of the head usually processes faster for me. So I actually really like using my blow dryer so I can target all the ends and everything that I pretty much applied last. So I did that for about 10 minutes, and then I let her cool for 5. And then I brought her back to the bowl and did the pH bonder post-treatment. And what you do is put that in for 10 minutes, you massage it all the way in, and it pretty much brings their hair back to their normal pH level. And it's also a deep conditioning treatment too afterwards. So I really love it. I do it every time I do color on my clients, just so that their hair stays really healthy and shiny and feels great even after these big color processes. once I'm done that, I brush through with my wet brush. If you guys don't have one, they're the best things ever. Just go get one. They're like 15 bucks at Sally's, and they'll change your life forever and your clients' lives. But I always make sure I brush through the color just so I know it's completely saturated. And then I let it process for 30 minutes, and I rinse, shampoo, and then bring her back to get her styled. So I'm of course using my Elcom, which is my favorite blow dryer of all time. You guys have been watching my tutorials, you know how much I am obsessed with this blow dryer. So this is the final color, and I love it so much. It's so beautiful. But I just wanted to tell you, when I blow dry, I always start in the front, and her hair is a texture you really don't have to worry about frizzing or anything like that. But if you have somebody with frizzy hair, you always want to start blow drying in the front, because that's the first place it's going to dry, and it's going to set into that frizzy, kind of unruly texture. And now I'm taking my T3 wand, and I'm just going to give her some really beautiful beach waves. I love this wand so much. If you guys need something to invest in as far as curling wands go, this one was like $2.25 for a set of 3, and I use them constantly. And this thing gets hot fast, so you guys will love it. And here's the finished product, guys. It's so beautiful. I love this color. I love all these fun shades that are coming out that are kind of off and different and a little bit less pigmented, and they're not pastel. They're kind of, I don't know, they're just like beautiful. They're almost natural colored hair, which is like the best of both worlds. So she was absolutely obsessed with it, and I just think she looks so good in that color. So thank you so much for watching, and of course you guys comment. I want to know what you guys think, and if you want to see anything specific, let me know. I have another color tutorial coming next Saturday that I'm really excited to show you, and I thank you guys so much for watching. I always appreciate it, and I will see you next week. Love you guys. Bye.